This coverage is brought to you by Rami Rent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more disc golf media coverage. Coming at you with the second stop on the European Pro Tour here at Järva Disc Golf Course. Got round 2 front 9 for the MPO lead card. I'm Tony Ferro.
And with him, Connor Wood, as we see 4 new faces here. Our feature card not making it to the lead card for round 2. Definitely going to be some exciting play coming in here today. Weather looking great again.
Absolutely. Be on the lookout for some hot rounds with these absolute pristine conditions. Excited to see this round coverage.
There's absolutely no doubt. Round 2 really setting the stage. We see our first competitor here, Emanuel Bengts, with a rating of 962, putting together a fantastic round in round 1, leaving him tied for the lead going into the second round.
And next up, we have a very familiar face, our reigning European champion, Niklas Anttila, coming out of Kuopio, Finland, 1026 rated.
And joining us alongside them, we have Øyvind Jarnes.
What up, Øyvind?
Strong player, 1020 rated here, coming out of Norway. Very excited. This will be the first time for me to see his game.
And last but not least, we've seen him before at Sula Open, Knut Valen, Håland, 1013 out of Norway, looking snazzy as always.
Doesn't have quite the same haircut I saw him with last time. A bit of bleach-dyed curls last time I saw him. He looks to be freshened up for this summer. And as we see this front 9 coming in, some 9s, some 8s, some 7s, these players are all going to be competing to take every stroke that they can leading into this hot round 2.
All right, let's kick it off as we traditionally do with hole number 1. Par 3, 121 meters. Got that OB on the left-hand side. Hills from the right going slanting right to left. If you've got the power, get that sidearm out. Otherwise, we might see some rollers, maybe some turnovers. Got to really watch this low ceiling as you come into the basket, though. Can catch you up, leave you outside the circle for a big putt to start your round off.
There's no doubt there, that final gap and low ceiling, definitely the one to contend with, will be the determining factor whether or not you can get that birdie or not. We'll see Emanuel Bengts off the tee. First throw of the card. Looks to be getting some nice shape out of it, but perhaps a bit too far right as he crashes in.
Should be about circle 2. Not too bad. Maybe an obstructed look with those trees in the way there. Next up, we got Niklas going for the roller.
And look at the heat on that.
Good cut angle, but that crosswind is blowing it up the hill.
He looks to be also circle 2 with the putt.
Yeah, maybe as well. Few trees in the way, possible low ceiling, but it is a downhill look.
We'll see Øyvind now, if he prefers the air shot or the roller.
Looking to go Anheuser. Believe this was a stiletto.
Wow, to get that much turnover on that, not much fade, very impressive by him.
Lots of power out of that arm.
And we can see that wind just barreling left to right off the tee for these players, giving them a bit more rightwards action as Knut now also looking for that flexi air shot. The height
that's
looking
got
really
some
nice.
speed.
Wow, as he slides himself up the hill into the circle closest of the bunch. That's how you do the air shot, folks.
That had lots of heat on it. Very low shot coming in. Sliding up inside the circle. Best look of the bunch.
Beautiful. We see Øyvind here up first. Nice little Anheuser touch, but unfortunately fading a bit left.
Yeah, it's a good half go.
I would agree. Niklas for his long birdie, catching a similar fate, fading off left.
Now you can see the wind coming into play with this first hole here.
Oh, Emanuel unable to capitalize on that strong lie. So we see Niklas for par now. Really speaks to how well thrown Knut is off the tee, having not yet made his putt.
We will see the first putt coming from Knut now. for the lone birdie on the card. Ooh.
Oh, a little dance on the back of the basket, but manages to keep it in. Wind always a factor with those low power floaty putts. As we see Øyvind.
Oh, just a slight misrelease from Emanuel there, and he will bounce off left side chains.
That was Emanuel getting his bogey, and then Øyvind tapping in his par.
Unfortunate, but plenty of holes left to get that one back.
No doubt, no doubt.
All right, hole 2, par 3, 96 meters. Fairly wide open, no real OBs to speak of. Just this gap, about 2/3 into the flight with a low ceiling. Gonna have mid-ranges, I would say, maybe a fairway driver. Soft turnover for the righty backhand. You really want to land it short, flat with the disc angle. Slide it up to the pin so you don't go deep, because you see that drop off behind the basket. Lots of cabbage there as well. Can really get yourself into trouble.
Knut up first with the lone birdie on hole 1. Looks to be getting his left right nearly perfect, but the wind pushing that nose up. He does hit some of those early branches at the gap, and we'll have a long look to the basket. Hill behind. Niklas now.
Now you can see the slight right to left crosswind there. Cannot show the bottom of the disc to that wind. It will fight you the entire way.
But look at this height from Niklas here as he gets a bit of love off the hill.
Oh, reverse skip off the hill, and he is parked.
Very well controlled by Niklas there on the height. We see Øyvind here. Also perhaps playing with those trees. He does get a kick out left, and probably a safe but touchy approach for him.
Yeah, it'll most likely be a layup from there. Just got inside the gap, but that's still a big bid with that drop off right behind.
Interested to see Emanuel here having some struggles on the green of 1. Looked to have a bit of frustration.
Oh, and you could see the miss there. He had hyzer right out of the hand, and the wind just blew it away.
You did mention that flight plate exposed, and then off the disc goes.
And Knut up first.
In this wind, a troublesome look.
But a solid layup from Knut. That's what you want to do with that.
No doubt. You can see even just a foot more and he'd be well down that hill.
Oh yeah.
Good control by both of these players there as that second approach curls up nicely. Emanuel.
We kind of gave it a half go there. Rolled out a little bit deep. That's going to give him a tester putt for the par. Let's see if he can capitalize.
There's a bit of shade sets over our competitors here. Emanuel unable to capitalize on that tough final putt.
Little late out of the hand. Almost had some Anheuser angle as well. There we go.
There we go. He does put that in for bogey. Unfortunate start for him going bogey, but we'll see if he can correct after his hot round in round 1. Niklas.
For the birdie. No doubt. Great hit from that young man there. Solid start.
No doubt. You can really see the determining factor on this hole being the distance control. Those who manage to keep it short and safe on their tee shots and approaches being rewarded with some easier putts. Beautiful hole. Forcing you to play disc golf right off the bat.
Let's move on to hole number 3. 103 meter par 3. As we saw yesterday, can go right-handed, big, huge spike hyzer over all the trees, or if you've got it, sidearm on the left side with the more opening, or a turnover if you do choose, but you got to control that landing. As you see, the stakes are wrapped all the way around the basket inside the circle as well.
Treacherous green as always here in Järva, with Obis being so close on all sides. Niklas up first, looking like he's going for the turnover backhand. And
wow.
There it is, folks. Slides that one up beautifully. Soft, flat landing.
I think it's safe to say Niklas is on a mission today.
Knut now. Looking for a very similar turnover shot, hitting that gap just left of those trees and having the disc ride over.
Oh, get down though.
Come on, spotter. Unsure.
Ah, that looks safe.
From us it looks safe, but we'll have to have the competitors make the call themselves. A fantastic ace run by Knut there.
And there we see the big spike hyzer from Øyvind. Coming up a bit short, but that'll be mid-circle 2. With a tailwind putt, you can run that.
I think perhaps a harder line with this increased wind speed today. The spike hyzer being more vertical in its flight.
I would agree. You'd get a lot of just straight up and down, not too much left to right motion.
But as we say that, he makes the correction and shows us that beautiful spike hyzer line, dropping himself right by the pin.
Great comeback, Emanuel. That will be a drop-in birdie.
As we see Øyvind up first.
Too fast out of the hand. That never had a chance. Tailwind putt, you got to get that thing up in the air.
Knut looking like he is well safe. Oh,
he was OB.
There we go. He must have just snuck over that last stake and takes his 3 there with a good putt.
Nonetheless, great par save.
Legit ace run from him, giving it his all. Niklas for birdie.
Tap in. Getting it done. Putting in the work.
I think he'll definitely be happy with that start. 2 down through 3. As Emanuel taps in his first birdie, righting the ship, stopping the bleeding. Well done to him. And Øyvind taking his par. Unable to capitalize on any birdies, but not taking any bogeys either, Øyvind, with a clean par start. The rest of these players definitely showing some colors here on their score.
Coming into hole number 4, par 3, 100 meters, slight downhill tee shot. Gotta keep the disc low as you come in about midway through the fairway. You got this gap to hit through the trees with a low ceiling, of course. Try to keep that boy in the air, slide it up to this uphill slope where the basket is perched on. Not the easiest hole. With the wind coming in, be curious to see how the flight negates the disc.
I do think with the low ceiling and that sloped green, these players really can fire one off. Perhaps get a little skip or ground play right at the end. We'll see Niklas looking for a flex line.
Just got to get to... Oh, wow, that was perfect. Just squeaked under the low ceiling, and he'll be inside the circle for a birdie look.
I thought he may have gotten a bit too much height with his nose angle, but he manages to get through no worries, as we see Emanuel with now a more traditional height, but unfortunately catches an inside tree.
A little early out of the hand. Those are the 2 trees to beat.
We see Knut now showing us the backhand line. Can he get enough turnover? But he also doesn't get the flight that he wants, connecting to a tree.
He did beat the gap, though, and he will be just outside the circle.
No doubt.
It's not bad. Almost caught the catch cam guy.
always in danger. They are in the prime landing zones. We see Øyvind here.
Looking wide. Oh, just caught the outside tree on the gap to beat. But that will still be Circle 2's edge. He could give that a bid with the uphill slope behind the basket.
Emanuel calculating his options. Looks for the spike hyzer, but unfortunately caught some cabbage, and that shut him down early. Øyvind.
Just laying it up. Smart play. Slow start. I'm sure he's looking for something to get him going, but hey, pars are good. No bogeys is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh, I believe that was Emanuel firing off his par putt. That is unfortunately going to be putting him at a bogey on his next one. Niklas, I believe, for birdie.
To go 3 for 3. Oh, just wide right.
He's given himself all the chances in the world. We'll see how many he can take down as another one just hits the basket, hits the chains there, and falls out left side.
Oh, and Niklas with a little bit of work to do still. Low ceiling, straddle putt, coming back. Caught a lull in the wind,
Did
and
find
he was
a little,
able to capitalize.
little oasis of shade there, keeping his eyes safe from that hot sun as he taps in his par. So does Øyvind. And our other competitors, you see Emanuel there tapping in his bogey, and Knut his par. Commenting perhaps on how mean that basket was to them.
Let's move it into the island hole. Hole number 5, par 3, 71 meters. Nothing too crazy to speak of on this hole. Pretty wide island. Just need to beat those guardian trees in the front and control the disc angle. As we saw, many rollaways can happen here. The green on the top of the hill by the basket is very, very low grass and very compact. Can get easily a skip.
There's no doubt, once you hit that back slope with a bit of speed and spin, you're definitely being thrown down the back. We've seen a few fantastic placement shots that just end up catching the long roll off the back. You'll see why some players opt for a really low speed disc here, just trying to land super soft. Niklas
I totally agree.
up first. 2 down through the last 4.
Is it early out of the hand? But no, it's looking good. Caught a few skips and a roll, but he is right up by the basket for the birdie.
The first time we've seen that line, not going around, but perhaps under or through those trees.
Yeah.
Definitely high risk, high reward, but he took the reward on that one.
And this is your more traditional line, high and wide around the side. Oh, and he caught some branches to stop him. That was great shot from Knut.
And you might not always land flat off those guardian trees. We'll see Øyvind try to go with a similar hyzer shape. Definitely at risk of rollaway when they land vertically, but just overfires the green, goes obi long, not connecting with anything but the grass.
And he looked surprised out of that. I would agree completely. Wind looks to be blowing left to right here to be able to slam the disc down.
Beautiful shot by Emanuel there. Perhaps the lower line better in this wind, as those two players seem to have snuck up. We have Øyvind here from the drop zone.
Just a textbook routine layup from Øyvind. That should be just a small putt for the bogey.
That was a
Good.
beautiful putt.
Yeah. Great capitalizing on that circle's edge putt.
Good bogey save by Øyvind there as well. Niklas taking another birdie. This man seems to be giving himself the putt on every hole almost, as Emanuel also making a very nice comeback, righting his ship. Yet to receive a par, Emanuel.
Roller coaster round for the leader. Well, for the initial leader of this round. As we come into hole 6, par 3, 148 meters, downhill tee shot. Gonna look to flex that disc into this gap, find a way to get through all these guardian trees, But don't come in too hot, as running theme in this course, we got a downhill slope right behind the basket. Lots of trees, lots of bushes to make your putt absolutely unmanageable.
Definitely some nightmare putts on this course, as we see Niklas up first.
This looks perfect. Get a skip up. Oh my gosh, yeah.
This man is just on fire. Every shot coming out of him so clean, hitting his lines. And beautiful height control you'll see on this windy day. He's just nailing that nose angle.
And
Knut up next.
Totally proved me wrong, just throwing it completely flat. No anhyzer needed.
The power on these guys. We'll see as Knut does kick back towards that gap. Hyzering out a little bit early. Emanuel now.
There's the flip up that I was thinking about. Get the skip and slide. Oh, and he'll be right by Niklas.
Really beautiful. You can see that small dirt patch just as the mouth of the trees opens, offering these players a lot of forwards movement on the ground. This one looking very high. In this wind, it might get beaten up a bit.
If it finds a gap. Oh.
Wow. Finds every gap in the book. And fires on through long. We'll see if he's contending with those stakes down there or if he managed to keep it safe.
That's big arm problems for you.
Oops, accidentally threw 160.
Knut up first from the mouth of the gap. Oh, and that caught some air, and he's going to be about 7 meters deep for the par. Øyvind up next.
Did manage to keep it in bounds, it looks like, as he goes for a safe layup. Well done to him to not try to risk it. As all of our players perhaps having a bit of struggles here. We'll see if Niklas can seize the birdie on this tricky hole.
Tailwind, circles edge.
Hey-oh,
Boom.
there it is. Gets his 2. The man's on a mission, there's no doubt. 4 down through 6.
Knut for the par. Solid.
I like his putt. Doesn't give it too much, too little. Very, very good control.
Lots of spin.
No doubt, no doubt. Emanuel firing in his par putt. Good recovery by him after going well long. Or apologies, I do believe it was Øyvind there who went well long.
Correct.
And then taps in his par as well.
Going back up the hill now, got hole number 7, par 3, 107 meters. Look for a soft anhyzer out of the hand, and overstability of the disc should come back into play as you fight in through this gap. Uphill slope to the green means you can go for this one.
You do see that drone flying through the gap. It's 2 meters wide. Gap is a generous term, as these players need to be incredibly precise if they want to make it all the way to the basket.
Now, with the new adjustments on this course, you can see this is a fairly new position, but a tough one nonetheless. As Niklas squeaks through, he's going to be in the trees, but about pin high. See if he has a gap to the basket.
I think a very challenging birdie look for Niklas, as Knut here throws it a little bit lower, hits the edge of that hill. He'll have a long look up there.
I'm liking his game plan today. He's really keeping the shots low, fighting through the wind.
Just a great degree of control by our players, as unfortunately Emanuel hangs it out a bit high and a bit right.
Øyvind up next. Yeah, that anhyzer just blowing away with the wind. Possibly one more disc stability-wise up on the shot would have helped him out.
Wow, Emanuel going really aggressive, it looks like, for an enormous flex. Gets the claps.
And he likes it.
Good to see him with a strong scramble game there. We'll see Øyvind up first. Long putt.
Oh, just short. Stop. good. He caught a tree right by the basket. Should be no more than 5 meters to clean up that par.
The root definitely helping him there. Knut with a very similar look here. Circle to uphill Anheuser putt.
Watch out, catch cam.
Definitely a tricky shape. Not quite able to get his normal stroke. I believe this is Niklas from the bushes for his birdie.
Oh, tough putt. From the knee, through the woods.
The early turkeys evading Niklas as he's going 2 birdies in a row and then looking to take his par again here. Very clean round as the rest of our players tap in their putts. Well done to them to keep their discs controlled on this sloping green. I do believe they're walking out of here bogey-free this card.
As long as Niklas gets the next 2 birdies, then he'll keep his
He's on
scorecard
track.
nice and clean, OCD-wise.
We have seen him hit perfect 5 downs round after round. We'll see what he can do now.
Well, this is one that you can get. Hole 8, par 3, 96 meters. Not too many trees in your way. It's pretty low shot, I would say. Pretty low trees for your shot. Look for a Anheuser out of the hand, flexing back in, landing the disc as flat as possible on this sloping green. We can see rollaways happen here, and it is nasty behind the basket.
Do you think with this high degree of slope there is a bit of luck in play, or do you think this really just comes down to your angle control?
This is real angle control here. These guys can handle the disc however they feel like. Oh, and we just see tree root or a rock kicking Niklas up and rolling him down the hill. The shot looked perfect, but that was unlucky.
Knut looking slightly flatter, slightly higher.
Gotta get
He
down,
deliver
though.
this one to the basket. The tree perhaps saving him from some extra distance. He'll have an obstructed look. Because they really do want to be hyzering leftwards into this left to right sloping hill. You could try to match the grade of the hill, but then you have a big risk of fading out right. We'll see Emanuel here. Not sure if that was the line he intended to hit. Perhaps did try to get that long turnover, matching the grade. Øyvind now.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea. Taking a flippy disc and letting it just roll over, start to Anheuser as it comes into the basket. Helps to control that angle, matching the angle of the disc to the hillside.
But you can see every line, every shape, just requiring such a good degree of touch from these players.
Oh, this is a dangerous putt.
Will he fire it?
Oh,
He
no.
does.
Wow, that was some love from the bush.
He may have calculated that risk in with knowing the tree behind. Thick enough to perhaps catch him if he were to go past it. Knut, unfortunately, hitting the edge of the basket. Obstructed look. We see Anttila here now.
The last look on birdie for the card.
The wide straddle and just catches a branch on its way.
Unfortunate. Putt looked good. Just couldn't get around that bush.
All right, Emanuel now for his 3. Unfortunate off the top.
Oh,
Sit
and it's
down.
rolling. Come on.
It curled up, I do believe. We'll see him putting again for his bogey.
Tough putt. Really uphill angle on that putt. Hard to get it high enough.
A lot of wide straddles coming out here as they contend with those bushes just around the green. Most of them well within the circle. Niklas there taking his par. Emanuel taking his double bogey. Perhaps a bit of frustration after some early struggles, but you can see he's had multiple bounce backs earlier in the card. We'll see if he can right the ship. Knut, bogey free, taps in his par.
Keep it going, boy. We come into the final hole on the front 9. Our first par 4, 178 meters. Tee shot is very wide open, but placement, as we've seen, is key on this hole. Can't be too far right, can't be too far left, or you are in trouble. Want to set yourself up right here by this gap. as you can come in to the green, land it short again, as their basket is on a ginormous downhill slope.
We have seen a few players not quite hit the mouth of that final tunnel, try to test their luck through the trees. We'll see Niklas now, up first.
Much lower line than yesterday, coming in perfect.
That looks to be in a fantastic position. Good degree of control as always by Niklas there. We'll see if Knut also opts for that lower, straighter line. He does look to be, but might be fighting this large tree you see here right of the fairway.
Yeah, right into that big guardian tree. He will have some obstruction trying to come into the green now.
And this really is a beautiful fairway. These two early guardian trees blocking too far left and right, leading up to that wooded tunnel. Really just testing our players here. Beautiful design. Emanuel.
A little wider than the others. Let's see if it's got enough stability to swing in.
Perhaps strategy. You'll see he is pinched off from the opening, but got considerable distance.
As we saw yesterday, there is a line through there. Big shout out to Big Papa Tongue.
We see Knut here underneath that guardian tree, which he connected with. Does he want to pierce the gap off his second? It certainly looks like it, but he is unable to get through cleanly.
Øyvind looking to go over the top.
Wow.
Fighting through the tree with his backswing.
What a line. He does crash through just at the edge. He will have a very scary look for birdie.
Amazing upshot from Øyvind. Lots of power needed for that one. Oh, so perfect. Just a little early out the hand for Niklas. And he is going to be in the trees, looking for his up and down for the par.
We see, I believe, Knut here firing off his third.
Makes it
Very
so
nice.
easy with that jump putt approach.
That grabby grass really offering him some
Well, that was
safety there.
Quick one from Emanuel, but he did catch some trees in the woods there. Have to see where that ended up.
Niklas with a floaty bid. Really nice touch there as he just slides it up under the basket for his par. And Emanuel with a nice wide open gap through those trees. Øyvind perhaps not as big of a gap, but definitely closer.
There we go.
Fantastic putt by him.
Getting on the board, putting him back to even.
His first birdie on the front nine.
Absolutely.
Glad to see. Niklas taking his par.
4 down on the front nine is not a bad start at all. Nothing to be upset about.
You're absolutely right. With only 4 holes averaging under par in the second round, this course is not easy. To get any amount of birdies means you are putting on a good performance. It really is, I think, about avoiding the bogeys when it gets to this level of difficulty.
And as we know, the back nine is the tougher of the 2 nines.
No doubt.
Let's take a look here. We've got Niklas coming out strong, making a big gap on the rest of the card at 13 down. Behind him will be Knut with 9 down, as 2 down on the front 9. Øyvind right behind him at 8 down.
And we do see our 3 competitors from this card still at the top of the leaderboard, with Rasmus looking to be chasing them, Lauri Leitinen, Ville Aukas. There's many players who are really making a run as we're just now getting to the halfway point of our tournament. Back 9 coming up, and then round 3. These players have hit the halfway point. We'll see if they look for that strong finish. Thank you for watching and joining us today.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And a special thanks to you, the viewer.